Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I must go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it. Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is reflecting on the week. Spaceships blowing up, bombs falling on the wrong side of the Russian border, geriatric presidential announcements, left and right wing reporters being fired. What we need is a cool distraction. I don't know, like an actual rock star. How about that? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Carolina, if it is not, the hell day is it? It's April 25th, 2023. Then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like, That's interesting thing. With a test like this, success comes from what we learn, and today's test will help us improve Starship's reliability as SpaceX seeks to make life multiplanetary. The company said in a statement afterwards, congratulating the team on an exciting first integrated flight test. Yeah, they lost control at 2 minutes and it blew up at 4. Yeah, great test, guys. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she is one of the biggest flat Earth rock stars ever. Not to be confused with the actual rock star, which we'll be bringing in after our first break. Karen B. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Mark.
It's another Tuesday, but not just any Tuesday. It's a special guest Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the day after your birthday. Happy belated birthday, Mark.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that, my dear. Oh, believe that. We will address that. You. But first, hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app.
It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble, and other places that I don't know about. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to our special guest who will be on a bit later, Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you, and pick up some merch. Meetups. If you're wondering why I'm rushing, it's because we have to do all our stuff, and we're going to do a condensed news section so we can grab Steph at the beginning of the second segment. Meetups, there are 5 that I know of. First one, let me just rattle off mine, and then Karen can hopefully fill in the blanks. The first one, I'm just going to go by the ones that are on my channel. There's going to be one April 29th with David Weiss in Connecticut. David Weiss, you probably heard of that guy. He's done a few things. April 25th, that's today. That one's pretty much over, I think, because that's in England. So I'll delete that one. That's in Bournemouth over in UK, so you missed that. British Columbia, May 6th. Check that promo out on my channel. And then you have Los Angeles. I think that's Huntington Beach with Brian Staveley. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Huntington Beach, May 13th with Brian Staveley. Make sure you don't miss him. He's pretty short. And then a Flat Earth meetup, San Diego, April 27th. San Diego. Check that one out. I'm sorry, and there's 2 more. One is going to be in Medfield, Massachusetts, May 7th from 6 to 9 at Noon Hill Grill. That's 530 Main Street. You can call Jesse at RSVP him at 857-344-6209 or email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. And then Karen has the info for the one in Bellevue, which is next to Seattle, which is going to be in June.
Yes, at the Mustard Seed Bar and Grill.
Mustard Seed Bar and Grill with, and I will make the promo for that by next week. And that'll be with Ted Summer and me, Mark Sargent. Right. I will be attending. Right.
What a stud fest.
Yeah, again, if you think you can pry me away, that should be the challenge, to pry me away from Ted for the evening, because we're going to be pretty much, I call him Chad for a reason. No, Ted's a great guy. We actually did meetups back in the day, before he became Karen's significant other. Back then, back when, he was talking to me.
Before I stole him from you.
Exactly that. Okay, was there any other meetups besides all those I rattled off? Flat Earth, thank you for doing all the meetups, guys. You're doing wonderful.
Yeah, there's tons of meetups. There's also Jam in the Plane, which is Colorado Springs, Colorado, June 16th through the 18th. And there is information for that at flatearthfestivals.com under the Flat Earth meetups section, as well as some of the others. But definitely go check Mark's YouTube for meetups too. Because you've got more meetups than I do. You have some that I don't. So
yeah. People, and again, if you want me to do a promo, I will absolutely do it on my channel. Just send me the info, and I will grab the template and build it for you. Also, want to mention from last week's AI episode, somebody emailed me, and I wanted to read this real fast. Mark, thanks for doing the AI segment. It was therapeutic for me. I am your contemporary, which means he's as old as me, and I have very similar perspective on the reality of what AI is and what it isn't. I was a software developer professionally for decades, starting back in the 90s, and even earlier than that in high school and college. It was very frustrating to hear that AI nonsense bantered about today. You are correct. In short, AI doesn't exist. If it did exist, we would have Skynet as in Terminator. I think you could even make the argument that the computer in war games was just a dumb computer running a program with a rule set on evaluating the outcome. So very, very cool. And then he said, where is the best place to check out Strange World Live? And I always now point them to the Karen B channel. Last but not least, before we get to the headlines, it's weird, Karen. Yesterday was my birthday. And I had to take my mother to an eye appointment in Seattle. So we got up early, got on the ferry, and we're getting ready to take the boat across. And my phone starts blowing up. A lot of people texting me. And what's weird, people text me from time to time, but it was weird because they kept texting the same thing. Happy 666th birthday. That's odd. How could all these people be texting me the same thing?
Good job, people.
And my mom's looking back. I don't have the phone next to me. It's behind me. It's like gling, 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 gling. And I'm going, and mom's going, is there something wrong? I go, oh, please let it be the apocalypse. Please let it be some alien invasion. But no. And so then, and of course, it didn't take long for people to throw you under the bus immediately. It's like, Karen B told us. Here was your number. It's like, look, my number, I doxed myself a long time ago. Here's my phone number. So then this morning, just because morbid curiosity, really, I got on and I watched your coffee talk. Did you have to open the coffee talk with that? You couldn't wait 15, 20 minutes and it's like, oh, hey, welcome to Coffee Talk. And you're never going to guess what day it is. It's not just a Monday. No, it's not just a Monday. It's Mark Sargent's birthday. And here's his phone number. Again, my phone number's listed out there, but you had to throw it out. It's like, no, here's his landline. I'm not going to give you that though. No, here's his cell phone number. So please text. Everyone should text him.
I held back the landline at least.
Thank you, Karen. It was awesome. It was truly great. It was truly great because there were so many people. And thank you everybody that texted me. I can't respond to you all because there was a lot. Man, and they came in such rapid fire succession. I really thought there was something wrong. It's like, what's happening? Remember, it was early.
Yeah, it was probably before 7. It was around,
Karen starts
around 7 o'clock.
Karen starts East Coast, so it was early. It's like, are the missiles flying? Is it happening? God, is that you? No. But thank you, Brian. Again, it was unique because the 666th birthday. Very, 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 very nice. Karen, oh yeah, you had to throw that in. Mark likes that number.
I had to make sure you knew it was from me. You'd have figured it out anyway, probably.
I would have eventually,
had nobody said anything.
Eventually, had you said anything, I probably would have watched Coffee Talk, and then it'd be like, oh God, here we go. So thank you for that, Karen. I appreciate it a lot. It was very nice. It was a nice, considering I wasn't doing anything really birthday-ish, it was nice to be reminded of it. And by the way, you were close. I was born in 68.
Oh, 68.
You
Okay.
thought I was 69. So yeah, I'm the double nickel.
So you are 55.
I am 55. I know.
Wow.
Remember that, kids? I remember the 80s. I do. Okay. Let's get to headlines. We got to knock these suckers out. And we got 5 of each because we want to bring on our special guest. So let's get to I don't think I'm missing anything. I've got stuff saved just in case. Birthday wishes, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So first one. Let's get to it. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the Tucker thing or the Don Lemon thing or the Joe Biden thing, unless we have to. Which was, if you guys caught it, the Artemis program, well, otherwise known as Starship, they're getting ready. They're testing these rockets so they can go to the moon, right? Mm-hmm. And it didn't go well. This is from RT. Elon Musk's Starship explodes on test flight. The SpaceX rocket disintegrated just minutes after launch. Yes, and within 2 minutes, that thing was they had completely lost control of it, and within 4 minutes, it detonated. It just blew up in the sky, and it was a great fireworks show. And I have never seen so much spin by a company where they were trying to make it's like, well, We learned a lot from that. It's like, what are you talking about? Your rocket blew up. It blew. The only thing it didn't do was blow up on the pad. That's the only thing it didn't do. You know, you literally lost control of that rocket almost immediately.
Yeah.
And and not only that, but you blew, you know, the thrust of that thing blew out chunks of concrete everywhere, destroyed a minivan that was way away from it. I mean, it blew tons of debris everywhere. It's like, were you guys rookies? What you not learning from anybody?
Yeah, supposedly it blew a hole in the whole launch pad.
Yeah. I mean, it's a crater. You're not gonna be able to use that launch pad anymore. You're gonna have to move it to a different pad while you try to repair that thing. It was a nightmare.
Did you notice it had 33 rocket engines?
I did notice that. So anyway, I couldn't be happier that it blew up. I am a little concerned. It's like, you know, that they were spinning this so well. It's like, you realize if there were people on it, they'd be dead, right? And, you know, whatever you're faking. Now, granted, you're never going to put astronauts on the real astronauts, but I mean, these astronauts shouldn't be thrilled because they're going to be moved to witness relocation if they actually say they were on there. So whatever. SpaceX. Yeah, not good. No, hang on 1 second.
Uh-oh. Mark's being interrupted by the agency.
Happy birthday, Mark extraordinaire. Happy birthday to
Look at Mark is beat red.
Love it. Yay.
Thank you. Oh God. Yep. Welcome to my life. That was my sister and a friend, a longtime friend from the island. Yeah, really great. Because they're celebrating my brother-in-law's birthday. Okay. Moving on. I know. Could I be more red?
I don't think so.
No.
You could try.
No, that was awesome. They brought me a piece of angel food cake. It was very nice. And my sister actually has a nice singing voice. Okay. Moving on. Next one down. Screwed up my schedule. Okay, this one, let's just blow through these. Sciencealert.com, which means it's absolutely positively true. Hey, and an incredible first, scientists have discovered what the core of Mars looks like. Uh-huh.
I'm sure they did.
Yep, I'm sure they did too. How'd you know this? Yes, thank you, Peanut. Yes, she was homecoming royalty and captain of the cheerleaders. Thank you, Peanut. Yes. Peanut's going, what happened to Mark? Sister's cute. Ass. Okay, next one down. Yes, she's actually quite photogenic. I can send you lovely pictures. Okay, this third one, this is kind of a warning to everybody. U.S. Airlines about to be hit with tsunami of pilot retirements. And by that, I mean there's a lot of red team doing that fly. And the ones that didn't take early retirement or just left during the whole pandemic thing, they're leaving. They're leaving as soon as possible. And so what they're basically saying is half of the pilots are going to be gone within like 15 years and probably sooner than that. So what I want to mention is why that affects people. The severe and ongoing pilot shortages nationwide. Black noted 42 states have less airline service now before the pandemic. That's not a shock. 136 airports have lost at least a quarter of their service, which means runs. And airlines have completely shut down 11 airports in smaller cities and rerouted them to larger hubs.
Wow.
Yeah. It is the salad days of flying are gone.
I know that there's an airport here, Greenville Airport. That airport, yeah, they stopped doing a lot of flights there too.
Oh, hell, Karen. I went in 2020, for example, I took a direct flight from Seattle to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't. It's gone. It's not there anymore. I have to route through somewhere. I have to go to Charlotte. That's the closest I can get to you as far as direct flights. Whatever. Okay, next one down. So just be prepared that airline's not so fun. This one from RT.com, if you didn't know, and there's a wonderful video on this, American or British, take your pick, ninja plane or ninja bomber, dropped a bomb in the middle of a Russian intersection 50 miles inside the Russian border. But because Russia doesn't want any of that action, Russia said, you know what? We probably dropped it ourselves. One of our planes did it. And so you're off the hook. I mean, I watched the footage, it just went in and then it was timed, it blew up, asphalt everywhere. I think a few casualties. And Russia, that's how cagey Russia is right now. They do not want any of that action. They just do. They don't. So they're not going to do it. So look, if this didn't work, you're going to have to go all in. Because look, if you can drop a bomb inside the Russian border and they're like, whatever, then not going to work. Next one down. Last one for the main news before we get to lucky unlucky. Oh yeah, this one from the street. Elon Musk says the countdown has begun. The billionaire CEO says the United States will default on its debt. The question to him is when this default will occur, and not whether it will. Yeah. So if Elon says it, I wouldn't bet on it at all. So if he says the US is going to default, I would not make any moves in that direction. Like, why would he say it? Because, and by the way, everything he says, and thank you, by the way, Karen, during Coffee Talk, for showing that lovely picture of the most pale man I have ever seen on a boat. Man, talk about, as far as billionaires go, billionaires are notorious for getting way too much sun. That guy went the opposite direction. Apparently, he lives inside steel vaults with no sunlight at all.
Yeah.
I've seen vampire movies with more hue than that guy has. I mean, there was no pigmentation at all. He's from South Africa where they get a lot of sun. He's anti-George Hamilton. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Next one down. Lucky unlucky. We got 5 of these and then we will do Clown World. We'll bump through these really fast. Moonbin of K-pop. That's Korean pop, by the way. Band Astro, dead at 25. What'd he die of? I think it was definitely suddenly, but it was anything more specific. Love the second picture down. Boy bands, boy, have they? That formula is in concrete.
Wow.
That is never going to change.
Moonbin.
Well, it's Korean boy band. So anyway, so he's unlucky. But the next one down, that's a follow up. The BBC says Moonbin star's death renews scrutiny on the pressures of K-pop. So what they're basically saying is if you're in a boy band, especially in Korea, it's so stressful. You could die. You could just die. Just drop over and die. Yep. And yeah. And you want to attribute it to suicide? Sure. You can go ahead and throw that. A lot of boy band people that commit suicide? Yeah, I don't either.
They didn't say that, did they?
Yeah. They do in there. They're saying, oh yeah, it could have, it could be. It's like, why would that? Are you kidding? Boy band's a dream job. You know how many kids line up? The audition. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of boys that line up to be in that freaking band. It is the casting call nightmare. All right, next one down. Third one's Fox News. Real quick, American Airlines employee dies of suddenly on the tarmac. Cause of death not determined. There you go. Unlucky. So yeah. Sad. Next one down. California boy. Okay, this is good. I want to spend a minute here on this. California boy, 10 years old, dies after fight at the trampoline park. California police are working to determine if charges will be filed. Okay, so you remember Karen, the girl some months ago who was putting on her underarm, her spray deodorant, and she drops dead, and then her parents is like, it's the deodorant. It's got to be the deodorant, right? Yeah, well, you could be doing anything. So this kid was at the trampoline park, gets in some sort of shoving match with a kid, falls down, dead, and they're saying, oh, the other kid must have done it. It's like, what? So got to be careful.
Match?
Yeah, some sort of shoving match, I guess. Brief physical altercation, right? So you know a lot of 10-year-olds that can do that sort of damage to another kid where it's like, no, he's dead right then and there. Again, it's just bad timing in this case. It sucks to be the other kid, actually, Because like, yeah,
Bad.
you're gonna go down. No, I don't think the kid's gonna get blamed. We'll have to do a follow-up on this one. But again, the point is, whatever you're doing at that time, that's what's gonna get pinned on it. You could be eating a snow cone and drop. It just happens like, oh, physical, he was in a shoving match, that kid over there. That's obviously what killed him. Okay, last one, then we go to Clown Worlds. Mobile Legend, this is from ABS CBN News. Mobile Legends RSG Ignite coach Navi passes away. He's a professional gamer. Bang Bang player and RSG Slate Philippines Development League coach Ivan Gaucho passed away. He was 24 years old. Coach is 24 years old in the gaming world. Died of, what did he die of? Fatal arrhythmia. Why don't you just say heart attack? Why don't you just say it? So yeah, suddenly. There you go. You brought a light that shone brightly in our lives and hearts.
You know why they don't say it? Probably so it doesn't come up in the search terms. Like if
there you go. Yeah. Try to mix it up as much as you can. But
right.
It's weird because I was a professional gamer. Hate to say it, but I can chime in on this. I got an opinion on this, which is I was a professional gamer, and it bugged me all the time. When friends of mine would just drop dead when we'd be done playing games, whatever. We'd lose like 1 or 2 a month. No. Why? It never happened, ever. They're all alive. All of them. Okay, next one. Clown Worlds. We got 5, and then we will go to break. First one from RT.com. A marathon runner disqualified for using a car. No, that's not a typo. Scottish runner. She got tired. Now, granted, she'd already won a whole bunch of records, and she's older. She's 47. At one point, though, she got tired, and so she got in a car. It was a 50-mile route, right? It's a big thing, ultra marathon, that sort of crap. And what happened was, people don't know, is that she was wearing a GPS, like a lot of them do, and the GPS all of a sudden she's going way faster than she should be, and they're like, so what the hell happened? And so anyway, she apologized. She's sorry, and she did so because the race didn't go according to plan, and she was feeling sick and tired of wanting to drop out. So instead of quitting, she cheated.
She cheated. Great.
And I hate to say this, but in the competitive world of sports, and again, we've seen this in all sorts of different things. If you're at that competitive level, people don't understand that. When you reach a certain competitive level, whatever you can get away with, that's what you do. And it happens in every sport you can think of. Lance Armstrong, great example there.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
There's a whole documentary on that. It's 7 years where he just lied and lied and lied and lied, and then finally one of his doping suppliers blackmailed him. He bluffed, and the guy, and then when they had him dead to rights, he's like, "Yeah, just so you know, I've been doping for 7 years." And they stripped him of all those titles, which is so sad. Okay, next one down.
Yeah, but you know what? He kept all the money from his endorsements.
Yes, he did. He did not give that back. Okay, next one down. North Carolina news. Married Army officers at Fort Bragg convicted in scheme to steal and sell $2 million in weapons parts, ATVs meant for soldiers. This is in Raleigh. 2 married U.S. Army officers. Let me see here. Convicted Major Heather Hammond, 34 years old, and her husband, Chief Warrant Officer Christopher Hammond, pleaded last week guilty to theft, possession of government property, and money laundering. She also got money laundering and aiding and abetting. And he's might do 30 years, and she might do 10 years. And so what happened was they were basically funneling between the two of them. They were stealing everything from military scopes, night vision goggles, ATVs, and then sold them.
This happens all the time in the military, by the way.
Of course it does.
They got greedy and they took too much and they got pinched.
Yep. Keep it down. Peanuts nodding. Yeah, keep it manageable. Don't let it get out of hand. Okay, third one. Oh, we got time. We'll make it. Third one down is Savannah Chrisley says Southwest Airlines threw her off a flight for being unruly. The devil came over me, said her. Now, if you scroll, see that first picture for the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing up Chrisley's, right? This family, keep in mind that picture right there, that shot you're looking at, that's photoshopped. And it still looks like a horror movie. Would you sit down at the table with those 7 people? Hell no. No. You know why there's no food on the table? It's because you would be dinner. That's why.
I was going to say, it looks like a modern version of the Lannisters.
It does. It does.
Oh, man.
We'll just call it, we'll call her Savannah Lannister. So all she did was, by the way, you know how this goes. And she TikToked about it and tweeted about it, which was she tried to get on a plane. You get to that point in a flight where, before you get boarding, it's like, heck, there's no overhead room. So you're going to have to check anything, we got to check your bags. And she's like, I don't want to have my bags checked. It's like, no, we got to check your bag. It's like, no, tell you what, I will get on the plane. I will look myself. And then if I can't find any, I'll check my bags. And, she's getting all uppity. And the pilot comes out. Apparently he's a good looking guy. He's like making a play on her. Right. He's like, hey, maybe I can help you check that bag. Right. The flight attendant's like, you stay the hell out of this. Right. And the girl, the Lannister, turns the flight attendant. She goes, well, you don't have to be an asshole about it. And that was the end right there. You got to treat flight attendants like umpires. There's only so far you can go. But when you get to that point, and she's like, you're out of here. And not only did they throw off their flight, they made sure the only way she could get home was to connect through a completely different city. So you get home at like 2 a.m. She was crying online, social media. It was great. So she deserved all of it. And then she's like, not only was she throwing the card out where it's like, well, it hasn't been the same since my parents went to prison, right? Because they went to prison for tax evasion because, they were making that reality show money, but they didn't want to pay taxes on it. But then she also threw in, it's like, I've got a 10-year-old at home. No, you're not. That's your niece. They called her on that. It's like, you don't have kids.
Oh my God.
Horrible person. Okay. 2 more. Second, last one. I highly recommend people read this article, which it's really great. If you want to throw this at some, it kind of goes along with our gravity thing, which is from Pocket. No one could explain why planes stay in the air, it goes into the whole thing about lift, which is we know that there's lift, right? We can predict the lift. We can tell you how much lift there is, but we can't tell you why it happens. Sort of like gravity. We can mathematically show you all sorts of gravity stuff, but we can't tell you why gravity actually happens. Turns out the same thing with planes. Been that way for a long time, and people just don't talk about it. It's like, oh, planes fly, so who cares? But throw this at your science friends from time to time. It's like, that there's actually no definite theory of exactly why planes go the way they do. I find it fascinating. So last but not least, and then we'll go to break. I know we're running a minute late, but we gotta do this. This is probably my favorite of the evening. It was from RT.com. The Red Cross has actually spent money. They're developing a campaign for gamers, which is the group's Play by the Rules initiative. That's their thing. Play by the Rules purports to protect human rights by lecturing gamers about their in-game behavior, right? Bear with me here, which is they don't want players to commit war crimes during the games. The rules include a ban on thirsting, which is shooting down or otherwise incapacitated enemies. So guys on the ground, what, you're not going to shoot him? Of course you are. Fatality. Finish him. No attacking NPCs. What are you talking about? That's half the fun. Everybody shoots NPCs at one point or another.
Don't they keep track of how many kills you get? Like, isn't that the point?
Exactly, Karen. No targeting civilian buildings. Since when? And mandatory use of medical kits to heal anyone wounded, no matter the alliance or the injured party. I 100% guarantee, Red Cross, that this is money wasted because this is going nowhere.
Right.
And why now? 2023? Where were you when Carmageddon came out? When you actually got bonus points for killing cops? Where were you when every version of GTA came out? Right? That's not even war crimes. That's just pulling your car on the side of the street and killing people. Civilians. You're not even a soldier. Oh God. It's just so ridiculous. Okay. We're going to break. And when we come back, we're going to bring in Stephen Carpenter. We're going to talk about whatever you want. And then eventually we're going to take phone calls. And you want to ask Stephen a question about whatever, feel free. Hopefully he's up for questions. So phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. Karen, first break music, please.
All right. I need to go get fizzy water.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing.
I'm testing the lighting.
Find your tribe today.
You look fine right now.
Well, give it a minute. I think it has something to do with the blood going to my face.
Put color in your face.
Yeah, from the embarrassing delivering the cake to me.
That was hilarious.
You know why they did that? Because they're drunk. That's why.
That's funny.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Steph, you're not supposed to be talking. Shut up.
Got it.
Join me, Karen B, every moon day in the early light, 9:30
Every
a.m. Eastern on Rockfin, Twitch.
Should do it on Sun nights, I
for an
think.
early light chit chat, open
Sometimes
phones,
Friday.
open topics, always.
I can't believe you have people that actually get up in the morning for that. And actually,
Driving
they go
back
through
from
their
work
morning.
sometimes. I listen sometimes I'm driving back from work.
Do you? Did you hear her give out my phone number?
He says he wasn't there, I don't think.
No, I was sleeping in that day.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B, and special guest, Stephen Carpenter from the Deftones. Hey, Steph, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Cannot complain, man.
Hello, everybody out there. I can complain. Let me complain real quick.
Sure.
Because we're so close to it. Just happened. That little piano music that plays right in front of my little shout outs. Oh my God. Bury it.
Tell David Weiss. He always uses that cheesy ass piano music for everything.
Oh, I can't stand it. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, man, I'm getting punished.
David loves to use the royalty-free music clips on all this stuff, and yeah, there's some of them that drive me nuts because he uses them a lot. So, David, if you're listening, I know you are. Is David in chat? As a matter of fact,
I don't know. I didn't see him yet.
Can he make a
It did.
Oh crap! Sorry. Hey, by the way, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Put that underneath.
Yeah. No. Well, who made it? Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. What? Stefan just chimed in. What am I gonna do? Walk over him? I can't do that. Peanut was going, you have to say the Joe Jackson line. Believe it or not, I have people that email me if I don't say the Joe Jackson line. I don't know why.
That's
So who made that promo with Stefan in it? Was that David?
Well, David sends me the videos for the clock app. He has those made, and then I take them and I put them in our commercials, and I put Stefan in one.
So wait, you've been suffering.
I didn't
all
do
this-
that music.
You've been
Yeah,
suffering
every
because
week,
we've been
every
running
week
that.
when I'm watching, I'm just like, damn, here it comes. And it's right after like the heavy ass part of one of our songs. I'm just like, man, terrible.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. You
Work
should
on
have
it.
said. You should have said something. You know, we would have changed it.
Well,
knew I would
David gives me these crappy videos.
I knew I'd get my day.
Well, yeah, but to that point, it has been a while. The last time we saw you was episode 303.
Oh yes, it's been many times.
And it's a weekly show, guys. So it's been pushing 2 years, almost to the week of 2 years of seeing you. But a lot has happened between then and now. Since then, Karen had a chance to meet you. I had a chance to meet you. David Weiss had a chance to meet you because you were on tour.
Yeah,
which was a lot of fun. You swung up to Seattle. I met him first, so that makes me more special. And
There's no proof of that.
because this tour started, didn't it start in Oregon?
Yeah, we started in Portland.
Yeah, Portland of all places. How was that, by the way? Was it okay?
It was exactly like you imagined it. You know, it was like a skeleton of what it once used to be.
Oh, so you walked around the city a bit before you played?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we were there for a few days for rehearsal, so we got to see it back and forth all over. That was the first time I was very amazed. I think I brought this up when I saw you, but I'd never seen the tents. You know, like a lot of everyone's got their tents on the sidewalks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Up until being there, I never seen them with anchors in the concrete. Like
That's right.
They were anchored into the concrete, like all of them, not like some of them, all of them. I was like, wow, look at that. Those are permanent structures now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
going.
but I was like, and I just was like, all I could, I was I kept asking myself every time I saw it initially, it was like, I was like, what homeless people can anchor their tent down in the concrete? I can't do that even in the dirt with confidence.
Well, if you use the there's compressor guns for them, but again, is that something gets passed around? Something where people are like, is usually Peanut Gallery would have to help me out here. Don't they require like the big ones use like small caliber ammunition to anchor? Yeah. Blanks. They use blank ammunition, actual firearm ammunition to throw those babies into concrete.
Yeah, it was amazing. But I mean, outside of that, you know what I mean? Whatever, everything's the same, but I was just like, wow, I never seen nothing like that. I'm used to Skid Row, here in downtown LA, and maybe I need to take a closer look, but I'm pretty sure the tents in LA are not anchored down like that.
God. Well, hey, you should consider yourself lucky, because don't forget that not too long before that, it was the umbrellas and fireworks show, where all the kids were wearing the bike helmets and going after the police station on a nightly basis, night after night, just turning it into this.
Oh yeah. My friend has a podcast that he does. It's called Smoke and Scan. I don't know if you guys are familiar or not with them. And he was, all throughout that period of time, long before then, but even, definitely through that time, he was showing all the, the nightly riots, and, he was hooking up with all the different streamers everywhere so he could get that on the street, live angles and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I saw all that stuff. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I always joked with Peanut, because we watched this. It's like the police put up with so much. I mean, granted, everyone's got their own opinion about law enforcement, but to get your precinct just get hammered on every night, and by kids that look like they had nothing to do, shouldn't never be next to a protest. Seriously, umbrellas and bike helmets and fireworks. That's your
the leaf blowers for all the tear gas. That was great.
Right, leaf blowers. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which I admit, pretty clever. I wouldn't have thought of using a leaf blower, but yeah, they were pretty well equipped. Bike helmets to keep them from getting smacked in the head, and umbrellas to deflect the rubber bullets. Good stuff.
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah, it was great to see you. Came up to Seattle and we spent a lot of time and went out to lunch and talked shop and you showed me a lot of cool bands that I'd never seen before. And then you went out. Did you see Karen first? Or did you see David Weiss first?
David was the last one.
Oh, David was the last one.
Yeah.
And you missed, I hope you don't mind me saying this, the part of the controversy. And again, you're one of the bravest men ever, because I don't know if I could have done it professionally. I mean, I certainly would have made an effort, which was you were like, yeah, you know what? If I have to have all my shots to get up into Canada, yeah, I'm not going to Canada. You'll have to you had somebody replace you for the Canada legs.
Yeah, we have a friend of ours that sits in for me on all the international dates.
Wow. That is awesome. And so was the you have to forgive me because I didn't know all the things.
Shout out Lance. What up?
The internet, was there an international thing that happened after the stuff that we did, the American stuff? Was there an international side of this?
Yeah, we had a couple dates in Canada, in fact, the day after I saw David, we were in Connecticut, and that was the last show before we had the 2 shows in Canada. So I went and basically met up with everybody in Michigan where we were gonna, pick back up together. So I was, I missed out 3 days of that tour.
Yeah.
And then after that tour was done, I think it was less than a week later, everybody, the band went to Europe.
Gotcha.
And they were out there for, I want to say 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that.
Wow. And the same guy that went to Canada went to Europe?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours. His name's Lance. He plays in a band called 847. Their music's incredible too. Super blessed to have him, step up for us and myself, so
good.
Thank you, Lance.
Good for you. And honestly, again, thank you so much for sticking to your guns. You're a great example for others. In the music industry, you're probably the most high profile in that regard. I mean, in sports, Kyrie Irving, of course, and Novak Djokovic, which I love the fact that it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do your freaking tournament. I don't care if it costs me my number 1 ranking or not. And in your case, well, let's put it this way. Well done, sir, because, as we know, the everything, there's only so much we can talk about here. It never got better. So it's not like, I don't think you had people coming back. Well, hopefully you didn't have people coming back to you saying, yeah, dude, you totally, you were totally wrong, and all these other, things didn't happen. So.
No, everybody's been very respectful and understanding, obviously everybody wishes I would be there, and I wish I could be there too, but it's a different times.
Yeah. Did everything sort of did all the hoopla die down after a while? I mean, did you initially have media coming at you with questions? And
not at all.
No, good.
Nothing.
Well, probably some of them probably didn't want the press. They didn't want you talking about it.
I made a little. I made a little statement right before the Canadian shows, but we're not trying to make a big deal out of it because it is what it is.
Good. Excellent.
Like I'm not like the only person out there that has my position. So
yeah, I would agree there.
That's right, especially now.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah, right? The lucky unlucky list never got smaller, so we just kept tracking them the best we could, and nowadays it seems more of the people just don't talk about it. They quietly, it's like, oh, well, I got the shot, so I'll just have to see how it goes. It's like, yeah, we'll see.
The one of the truest things that happened, through that period of time and remains true now and will forever remain true is that regardless of our perspectives or positions that we're in, we are all in this together. There ain't not a damn thing anyone can do about any of it.
Yep.
No matter what what side you claim or this and that, that don't matter. Doesn't mean nothing.
Yep. Hey,
I'm always telling everybody we're all the same team. Y'all got to wake up. You might think and feel different, but we're still on the same team.
It's true.
Yep. Very true. Hey, review for some of our listeners again, because it's been a couple of years since we talked to you on the show. Friend of the show, by the way, if you didn't already know. Uh, um, do you mind kind of giving people a little rewind about how you got into this and how you got a hold of Karen and I?
Well, I mean, basically, it came. I had a friend of mine reach out to you because I just wanted to, say what's up and all that stuff. I don't know if you remember, but Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do remember Cassie.
She reached out, and then she told me, yeah, he said hit you up, blah blah blah, and so I hit you up, and same with Karen, and Dave, Dave, I had done the Josta show with Jamie Josta, and we were just going through that, whole, different debate on all the, the conspiracy theories and whatever's, all the rabbit holes, and
right.
They wanted to do another show, but I was just like, look, I mean, the thing, I don't really that really sucks about the entire subject is just arguing with people about it. There ain't no point in it,
Yeah.
I rarely get into the conversations with people about it hardly anymore because I'm like, it's not going to change the way I think, and it's not going to change the way they think, no matter. And I've realized through all the, the conversations I've had, even from the very beginning, when my friend was telling me initially for a long time, and I never believed him, was, no matter how much you talk about it, you can literally cite point after point after point, but until that person sees it for their, firsthand for themselves, and until they actually make the connection themselves, what I mean? Yeah. They have to come across the one subject that they relate to the most, that it's like they can't argue about because they know how that actually is,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can discuss it with, the subject with people forever, but I mean, some people are tolerant and they'll listen to it and they'll be like, oh, that's interesting, blah, 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 and then others just get upset, it just ruins their day when they hear it.
Yep. No, it's a great point. I've told people many times, because I get emails quite often where they'll say, I'm having a problem convincing this person. I go, that's not your job.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
All you have to do is you're not there, again, not there to convince them, not there to persuade them. You want to bring up a topic, sure, throw it in their head, but that's it. Don't think for a second that you're going to. I mean, the rarest, almost never happens. You're not going to get that moment where, because people want to stare at them and be like, I want to be there when it happens. And it's like, no, it's going to happen on their own at probably 2 a.m. while they're after a bunch of content they've watched, and they're going to have to think about it. And even then, and then finally it'd be like, oh, hey, wait a minute. But no, you're not going to catch it on your own. It is the most, which is why, again, Karen knows this, every time like a holiday rolls around, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I hear people say, oh no, I'm totally going to bring it up to my family this Thanksgiving. It's like, that's a terrible idea.
It is.
Don't you dare do that.
I remember when I first found out, I thought, man, everybody's going to want to know, right? I'm like, we're being lied to. Everybody's going to want to know about this. Boy, was that wrong? So wrong.
Seriously.
They were like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you might as well at the Thanksgiving table, it'd be safer to say that you were changing your sexuality, your religion, and you were going to become some sort of drug addict simultaneously. You would have a better reception than saying that, because I've watched the testimonials. It's like, yeah, I sat down, and after, I don't know, 30 minutes, I said, hey, you know what? I'm into flat earth, and the whole table goes completely silent. And it's like, oh no, here are my points, like Stefan said, and the table's still silent. And then it's like, should we have them committed? They look at you like you have a bug on your face. So
yeah, and it's always, I mean, the most amazing part is that is not the looks or the arguments or anything like that. It's that I was there myself, I know exactly how it feels and what they think, it's, like I was always married to that reality, even though I didn't know all the facts. I mean, I knew how fast Earth spun, I didn't know how fast we were spinning around the sun, but I at least knew how fast our daily orbit was, but what we're basically taught, what a 24-hour day is, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I understand how people are, they have that connection because, it's one of the earliest things that we get put into our memory.
Yes. And did you find, by the way, because you've been in the community for a couple of years now, at least. Did you find that even open-minded people, it didn't matter? I mean, yeah, being open-minded helps. I mean, you're an open-minded guy, but did you find that even being open-minded is no guarantee that you're gonna jump on this?
No.
Did you ran into people or like you thought, oh yeah, they might be cool with this, and they're not?
I think that most conversations are, they're not, inhospitable. I have most of the time I feel like I'm received well whenever I'm talking about it because I don't really want to come, I'm not trying to come from an argumentative position when it comes to it. I'm just kind of like just saying, I kind of actually trying to help them understand. It's like, look, the struggles that you're not able to acknowledge or feel right now. I understand that, like sometimes you just, it's hard to deal with the fact that, I can see our reality one way and others see it their others. That's the thing that before I even had this realization, that's always been a problem is that everybody has their own perspective. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when it comes to this, even though I think people intuitively know and feel that it is true, nobody wants to be wrong.
Right.
So it's just much easier to just not engage versus being like, I can't believe I got fooled or I'm wrong about this, because it's so big.
Yeah. The Mark Twain quote still holds true today, which is, again, it's human nature, which is it's easier to fool someone than to have them admit they've been fooled.
That's right.
No one wants to be punked. Nobody wants to be, I mean, people are the butt of jokes and pranks, sure. But nobody likes it. But if it's big, the bigger the realization, the harder it is for them. Which is why denial is always the first response. It's like no way, can't possibly be. And for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
For a lot of people, they can't get around denial, and denial and anger are so close to each other that. Yeah, I get it. I get it, which is why, I've seen people get kind of mad. Luckily for us, it's never about the person, it's about the message, which is why after all the hundreds of meetups that we've done and in all the conferences and stuff, we've never had an incident where, where one of our people has been grabbed, and all of a sudden punches start flying in the lobby because it's not about us. It's the idea, which I think is nice.
Well, there are many facets to the conversation, and sometimes it's it's nice to throw the subject out there because that way you can clear up any kind of like wasted conversation. You can they're either going to engage with you immediately or they're like, I'm out of here. I don't want to hear any of this. All right, cool. I got some time.
You're right. It is, Flat Earth is the small talk killer. I will say that.
Do you have a question that you ask people before you dive into Flat Earth? Do you like feel them out first? Like go, what do you think about the moon landings or ask about 9/11 or anything like that? Or do you just dive right in?
It depends. Usually, when it's usually something that'll come up when we can whoever I'm talking with, if we can agree on whatever known lies there are. I'm like, you already know this one thing, this lie, this lie, you even know about this lie. What is it about this one that you're just not acknowledging?
Right.
It's like, how does your, where's your threshold,
Exactly.
Yep.
I just start with that it's all lies. So, what I mean? I don't have to prove that it's true.
Yeah. I've said, I'm sorry, I did, didn't I? Just then. Yeah. By the way, that's
why you got the yeah shirt.
Yeah, it's the T-shirt, which I didn't even know I did. that is what I bring up to people all the time. Everybody's got their own wheelhouse of lies, which was, stuff they're willing to look at. And I usually will bring up the fake news thing, which is like, okay, so that there's fake news, depending on, if you're Democrat or Republican. And then, I say, and that there's lies in business and politics and sports and entertainment and even journalism and science. I go, so where's that line in the sand for you? And for a lot of people, flat Earth is so big. It is such a big line. They don't want to cross it. It's like, I totally get that these might be lies, but I can't do it. I can't cross that line yet. It's like, all right, I get it. As long as you're thinking about it.
Before I heard about flat Earth, I heard about people talking about space being fake. Did you know that? Did I ever tell you that? And I thought that was so weird. I was like, why were they saying space is fake? That's so weird. I was like, but I've seen the satellites when they float across the sky. You just see a light. You don't know what it is. It's just a light. But, everybody tells you, oh, those are satellites. So you just grow up thinking, oh, those are satellites.
Yeah.
You don't really know what they are.
That was actually my biggest bummer. Well, when my realization was that when I came to the understanding that, that none of that existed, because so much, the infinite vastness is kind of exciting, there's, when you think about how much could possibly exist within infinite, space,
right.
Incredible. So when I realized that none of that existed one day, I was like, oh, I was a little bummed, but eventually bum just went away because I was like, you know what? There's everything all those things that you worry about that space can, what kind of space problems, this or that, right? It's immediately gone once you realize it doesn't exist. I'm just like, oh man, this is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get over, or that's how I felt too. It's like once I got over that, the depression and feeling like an idiot for believing lies my whole life, then I was like, oh, it's kind of a relief now, space isn't trying to kill you,
Yeah. It's that simultaneous thing, which I was worried about in the beginning, which was I thought that people, once the universe was shrunk down to a giant studio apartment, I thought some people would freak out, they get the whole claustrophobia thing going. But what you just said there, at the same time that's happening, it becomes much more comfortable and you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, good. You're not going to go on some sort of rage rampage and start.
Yeah. And then the other part of that kicks in, the wonderment part, where then you're like, well, what is it?
There you go.
And then you want to look at the sky, where I didn't really care about really looking at stuff like that before.
Yeah.
And then I started paying attention more to the sky clock and stuff. So
yeah,
it ended up being a net positive.
Hey, Steph, can you stay with us for the next segment?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, I didn't know if you had anything else to do or if you had more tacos coming or something.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Karen, let's roll that outro, shall we?
We shall.
You got to hit it, though.
Yeah, I did. Why
did you?
is
Are you
sound
sure?
not coming on? Hold on. This is weird.
Peanut Gallery's shaking his head.
Oh. There.
Oh, was it actually playing? It wasn't on the monitor.
My bad. Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the most authentic flavored salsa I have had in a very long time. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat. más salsa.
Gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
What do you mean, Vegas?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
I'm not going to no Vegas.
Yeah, I think, you know what, man? We're gonna go to Vegas and,
When are we going to Vegas?
We're gonna give Daddy the Rain Man suite. Do you dig that? We're going to Vegas, Mike.
Vegas! You think we get there by midnight?
Honey, we're gonna be up 500 by midnight.
Ah, Vegas!
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
One thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level. So every little line that you put in it must be basically flat. You can go anywhere you want to go with it, but you have to keep them straight.
Bob Ross was my first ASMR.
It's always flat, always level.
Seriously. Still is.
I'm in a cult, 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 I'm in a cult. I'm at the Grove, Bohemian. I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, the beak on the 33.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, and special guest, Stephen Carpenter from the Deftones. What's up, Steph?
Hello.
Hey.
I
So,
should call him the Flat Earth rock star.
yeah, we call him the Flat Earth rock star because he is a Flat Earth rock star. He's a literal, he's my go-to musician reference.
Oh,
like,
by the way,
yes.
people are telling me that there's other people in metal bands who are flat earthers. I don't know if you know them or not, but they're being outed.
Really?
Somebody told me the drummer from System of a Down, but I don't know.
I know, John. Yeah, we never talked about it, but that doesn't mean he doesn't think that way.
I'm sure there's tons of people out there. I mean, like, there was that guy from the show, I think I could say Navy SEALs, he said, like, no, sorry. He goes,
Oh, the actor guy.
Yeah, the actor guy that
Yeah, he still keeps himself kind of unknown, but he came to Flattoberfest 2021 and hang out. He was there.
Oh, and I missed it.
Yeah, and you didn't show up.
Damn it.
It's very
Well,
simple,
no, I was
man.
gun shy of the whole planes thing.
It's very simple. I mean, the reality is, again, it's something you either believe or you don't. And if you don't, it still won't change the fact that it's real for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to listen? Okay, I'm just trying to just give you the information. You take what you do with that as you wish.
That is a good attitude to have, and I don't blame you. And I have thrown that at people when you can tell pretty quick if they're, how resistant they're going to be. My segue question has always been, the litmus test is, do you believe the Americans went to the moon? And if all of a sudden they break out, like a little American flag, and you start waving it, it's like, those brave souls. It's like, yeah, okay.
Again, like I said, I find I have more conversations with people that actually agree and believe that it is. I mean, most people I talk about it, it's not an argument. Like I feel like there's more people that know that it is than people admit that there is. I would say that the majority already knows that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to convince the majority that it is. It's the minority. It's like, look, you guys don't be the last one.
Right.
And that's a good point, which is a lot has changed. People forget we've been doing this for 8 years now.
Yeah, it's well known by people, but at this point.
Yeah. Granted,
which is why they always try to, make the fuss and try to decredit you, like you're insane, conspiracy theorists, blah blah blah.
Yeah. The reaction when especially when a high profile person comes out, media person, when the media immediately jumps on them and says, just that whole pointing, it's like, the whole Nelson from Simpsons, like, and that worked really well with Kyrie Irving back in the day. But I've noticed that as more people come out, the impact is much, much less. So,
I believe if you asked him today, his answer would still be the same.
Yes.
He's never abandoned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for.
I would say the reality is always this. Once you see it, you never unsee it. You're never going to go back to believing otherwise. It's just not. It's not possible. Why would you argue with the facts as you understand them to be? For one, and two, again, like I said, there ain't no point in arguing. You can tell me. You can call me all the names you want. You can say whatever. You can believe whatever. But again, it won't change the fact that is what I recognize to be true.
Yeah. Find to your point, find me a person in our position that was turned back the other way. Find me a single one. I mean, we've had people drop off, sure, but find me somebody that I have never even heard of someone that's gone into a debate or even a casual discussion where, all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, I'm back in the globe side. It's never happened. And if that hasn't happened year after year after year, that is a huge testament.
Yeah. And it will continue that way because again, we all know one side of the subject is based in reality and the other ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. And every time
and I really have to say, when I do have those moments where it's like, somebody, obviously doesn't agree or feel the same way, you know what I mean? I have to immediately recognize, some level of compassion, like I don't want to fight with this person. I definitely don't want to upset them. You know what I mean? They already are like, in a space because of it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to hammer it on. That's not why I even talk about it. And really, I don't even pay attention to a lot of it anymore is, that much because again, outside of the real science, what is this place really? You know what I mean? The questions that we're not going to answer anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to, I can accept that this is God's realm and get it together, people.
Nice.
Yeah, it's okay to not know stuff. I think that's one of the things that people have a lot of problems with is like, well, how come you don't know? Why don't you have all the answers? What is it then? And it's like, well, I don't really know. But I know it's not what they say it is.
Yeah, it's not that.
Well, I mean, that again, so that's, that's where the, the difficulty and the divide is in the conversation for most people. As somebody who believes in flat earth, when you're talking to people about it and you're trying to help them understand what your perspective is, you know what I mean? That's why I was saying, regardless of how much you explain it, it's almost impossible, because there has to be something physical for the connection to happen. But you can explain it over and over and over. And again, it won't change that reality. Once you understand that, you know what I mean, you're not going to see it differently.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, a lot of people in our community, you forget, it's like, look, it's your reality that's been changed. It's great that you're very excited and you want to, you want to talk to your friends and your family and your coworkers, but don't forget that it's still you. And I love the topic in that regard, where, people get excited and, the first thing you want to do, it's like, I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to start a social media thing. But in the end, I'm just happy that they, came to this new place in their life where, everything means it's a completely different perspective. So again, I'm happy for him, but I never once said, oh, you should go out and be an evangelist. Don't do that. Just let it happen naturally.
I mean, it's very simple too. I mean, like I said, I talked about it way more in the beginning, my first 3, 4, 5 years. That's when I talked about it the most. But in the last few years, yeah, I mean, I talk about it, but I usually I'll talk about it with people that already understand that, I mean, I still talk to strangers about it, but just generally not as much as I would have in the past. And, again, like I said, my position is the same, whether I'm talking about it or not, it's not going to make a difference, and the only thing that, the ultimate effect it's had on me ultimately is that I just see everything through the prism of, all right, well, if you can bullshit about the biggest thing, then everything else is gravy. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit.
Good point.
You just get a clearer filter. You can see things going on, and you recognize really, all the world's a stage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I've mentioned a version of that before to people, which is, once the flat earth umbrella is opened, everything becomes more clear, because it's like, oh yeah, everything you thought was probably deception, oh yeah, chances are it is. And
what's most amazing is that the lengths and the levels at which it goes to keep you from understanding or realizing that, the deception is thorough, entirely thorough.
Yes.
Nothing was left out.
No, nothing was left to chance. Nothing. And they had a lot of time to refine it. You start back in the day, and every time you run into something, it's like, well, hey, this area is kind of exposed. We should cover this up with something, some sort of deception. It's like, okay, let's work on that. And then, they work on that for a few years, to where now, again, I don't blame people, for not understanding. It's like, no, we're, in the 2020s. They've had a long time to work on this, and you're right. It's been total, absolute hell. There was a thing today, which we didn't even talk about, where Japan crash landed a probe supposedly on the moon today. Absolute crap story,
Really?
But yeah, 22-pound thing launched from SpaceX supposedly months ago, crashed today. No photos, no video, just crashed.
LOL.
And people will read that story and be like, oh yeah, the moon, it's a thing.
It's just a stumbling block on the way to the moon. Did you hear Michio Kaku say that about the SpaceX crash the other day too?
No.
A stumbling block on the way to the moon.
Really?
Yes.
2 minutes and they lose control, and that's a stumbling block?
Yep. That rocket's going to take us to Mars.
Great. It's great depths. All levels are blanketed with that kind of just, nonsense. And it really is just to guard the grasp on those that are left. There's not that many of them, you know what I mean? But just enough so they could, perpetuate.
Yeah. as I have mentioned to people, and I'll put that in my Vegas speech again, which is everybody, whether you know it or not, you have our community around you at all times. You just don't know it because we're not wearing armbands for the most part, or shirts or hats or stickers.
And again, like I said, once you understand that and you can see it, after all the initial amazement of all kinds, goes over, again, you just go back to your, living your life. But now you actually have just a clear filter to see everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, at no point, every once in a while, someone will radically change their life. For the most part, yeah. It's like, and people have asked me many times, they said, well, who cares? My wife still doesn't listen to me. My kids hate me. I go to my job. What's going to change? I go, well, your perspective is going to change.
Absolutely.
You will think about things much, much differently. Oh yeah, you'll still have to go to do this and do that and do your daily lives, but you will not be the same person. But at no point, it's like that. Yeah, nobody just like heads off into the woods and gets a yurt and just starts, doing, hot yoga on a daily basis, and doesn't and changes their complete musical taste. That doesn't happen.
But it does, like, over time when certain situations come up, because your whole outlook has changed. You figure out that you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this differently than I probably would have in the past, or at least I noticed that about me. I make different decisions differently, now that I know certain things, right?
Picked a different route or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody, again, like when you have conversations with just random people, I think that the majority of people, it's not all people, but the majority of people, they might not know exactly what's going on. And I'd say even all of us who think we know what's going on, we don't know what's going on, right? But in spite of whether we do or do not know what's going on, we all know that something is going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know what it is, but damn, we know something. There is a serious effort to do something.
Yeah, and it's not good.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows that. They don't know. They can't put their finger on what the driving force is outside of, maybe we sum it up, simply as good versus evil. That is the bottom line on all the stories.
That is such a great line, because there's a version of that from the movie Heat, when Tone Loc was talking to Al Pacino and he was doing that whole thing. It's like, now if that guy had said that, nothing was going on, I'd be just fine. But he just kept going on and on about he's got nothing going. So I knew there was something going on with that guy.
Yep.
And you're right. I can't watch. I don't watch the news anymore, because I have to scan the headlines on a regular basis. I'm not as bad as David Weiss, where David's completely like everything's fake constantly. Nothing's real ever, including that car crash. But he just takes it to, but I look at every story now. It's like, all right, what are you guys up to? Because there's something behind it. Absolutely something is behind everything now. Everything is for the masses, trying to steer them in certain directions. And the masses a lot of them still don't see it, but it's like, oh no, fake news isn't just some weird fringe concept. No, it's a daily thing. You just
as Dave has gotten my back, I will get Dave's back, and I would side with him and say, you know what? Just start with it's all bullshit. You don't have to be upset. Just start there.
Yeah.
You can ease a lot of anguish by just recognizing that it's likely bullshit. Doesn't mean that it is, but it's probably.
Oh no! I get that. In fact, when the whole term auto hoax, he could have practically coined it when it came out. No, I got it, which was assume that whatever it, what used to be assume innocence, until proven guilty with the news. No, now you're right. It's different. Now it's no. It's probably guilty, and the rare thing is completely innocent. Find me completely. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's just so many stories. So you've got to always just be in that perspective. Like, I mean, if you're trying to look at something, stop, looking at the micro. You gotta zoom back out. You always have the big picture.
Yeah.
How it's not how these 2 or 3 stories are related. It's how do all of them relate, because they are all bound to each other,
right,
in some form.
Yes.
And guess what? Again, that's what I come back to. I was like, we can imagine and speculate on everything forever. And you know what? There is a driving force that is driving everything. I couldn't tell you where that source is. I could just say that it is 24 hours a day. Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
it don't stop.
Yeah. A controlled civilization has always been the great goal, the big goal. And as we've moved forward, as our civilization has advanced, they've figured out more and more tools to make that happen. And now, of course, with social media and 6 billion smartphones, you can do it in practically in real time. But now they're kind of struggling because, okay, what narrative do we push? Because now we can do it so fast, we can't, and they think the public's dumb. They don't want to give too many narratives, otherwise it confuses them. So, but yeah, the narrative's always moving, always.
There's 2 different mentalities out in reality. I mean, at minimum, there's 2, right? There's the mentality of all of us as individuals, and then there's the mentality of us all as a group.
Right.
As a group, we're all pretty tarded. I mean, not individually, of course. You're accountable if you're accountable for yourself, then you minimize that. But as part of the group, you can't regulate the entire group, right? So you get that. It's just going to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
That's for sure.
I again, just it's just all, like I said, what's great about having this understanding, being in this reality is, again, I just, like Dave, I just start everything at the position. All right, well, what part of this is real? There is truth in it, right? You know what I mean? So which part of this is true? What is the part? Because the truth is what's going to connect to the next part. I mean, that there is a story being told, but you got to be able to, strip off all the fuzz.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is where they've got a piece of it, and then they coat it with a lot of layers, because those layers are where they want you to go. It's like we can use this. We can use this to our advantage.
That's right.
But what do we want to do with these people? And then you're thinking at a country level, an international level. Ugh. Hey, do you mind if we go to break here and then we take some calls in the last segment?
Yeah, it's all good.
Right on. Karen, let's do it.
Hopefully my sound's working correctly this time.
Where is the
Steve Crow actually sent me a birthday thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's cool.
You must listen to your Monday. Ted sent one too.
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trail.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA.
Maybe.
Aliens.
Probably.
Globalists.
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercept. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It is Yumi, the always lovely, I was going to say stellar, but that's space related, so I can't do that. Lovely Karen B, and special guest, Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Steph, are you with us?
I am.
Right on. All right, so we're going to pick up some phone calls because people have been calling in and some have been on hold. Wow. Determined people, 90 minutes. So 848-222-2480, 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. See, I can say that. Karen picked the number, by the way, randomly, is from what I understood.
I didn't.
Didn't you pick the number?
I had nothing to do with that number. That was you and Peanut.
Peanut, did you pick that number? He's shaking his head yes. All right. Well, the agency picked that number. Okay, let's go out to 505, possibly New Mexico. What is happening?
Happy birthday, Mark.
Thank
Happy
you.
55, brother.
Thank you. The double nickel. Ugh, I hate
Okay.
getting older, but thank you.
Double nickel, man.
Ugh.
That's both
Yeah,
hands.
and many more, brother. And wow. Yeah. Hey, Karen. Hey, Stefan. Such a pleasure to have you on the show, Stefan. And well, just for the record, I do love the Schroeder Peanuts like piano music clip. I look forward to that every week. And
Wow, you were saying that to the wrong people. But go ahead.
I mean, again, I oddly look forward to it myself, so I can complain about it every time I hear it. Like, damn.
David, I hope you're listening, man.
oh boy, I get it, man. Yeah, it's there. It's become a thing. You know, all of us, I'm just really enjoying this conversation. All of us have just had these awkward conversations with friends and family. And like Karen, I totally, she captured it right there. You just want everybody to know, hey, man, they're lying. I'm helping you out. And wow. And with family and friends. And that's just kind of, you know, when you get over that initial shock, it's, yeah, you know, you start being a little bit more cautious here and there, but after a while, you're just like, hey, okay, I'm just going to throw it out there and just do it. Who cares? A friend of mine is a flat earther, and she, you know, told her children and her family, and like what we're just talking about here, she is, you know, had a lot of resistance, and her children, which are grown, you know, they're in their 30s. They, you know, they think she's nuts. And, but this is where Stefan ties in. my friend asked her daughter, "Hey, what'd you do this weekend?" And she said, "Well, I went to a Deftones concert last night." And she said, and she didn't miss a beat. She just said, "Hey, Stephen Carpenter, he's a flat earther." And it kind of ended the conversation, but that was a lot of street cred right there for her. So yeah, and I got such a kick out of that story. It was, yeah. So you are encouraging a lot of flat earth love and planting seeds with your conviction and your God-given talent. So yeah, keep it up, brother. And wow.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, is anybody else in the band flat, or how's that work with the relations with everybody else?
Yeah, no, typically, I'm the one that's all about it. Everyone else, for the most part, they don't really care. Maybe,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they have their own personal interest, and they just don't want to discuss it. I don't know, but no, generally, I'm the crazy one, and I'm fine with that. It's kind of nice to be a little crazy.
Absolutely. And maybe we lost a few connections with family and friends, but we have grown such a bigger family. So that is a blessing out of flat earth. We have such a much bigger family than maybe some of the relationships that maybe aren't so great because of it. So yeah. Well, I'll let you get to all the other calls here.
What was that, Stefan?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, again, regardless whether you agree or disagree with the facts, as the way either side puts it, I mean, again, like there's no point in arguing about it. I mean, if you don't think, feel, or believe the way I feel, that's fine. I'm not trying to, put you out one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like you said, Karen, it's like, I believe it to be true, and I just like to tell you that it's true, based on the things that I understand or think I know. You know what I mean? I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say I'm not.
There you go. Yeah. Again, it's not like we're Latter-day Saints. We're not knocking on doors.
Yeah,
we're just out there.
Yeah, again, like I said, I talk about it a lot less now than I did in the past, but it does come up still, and lots of times I like to throw it out there for the shock value that it is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I enjoy the response of someone looking at you like you're crazy when you say something like that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not. I'm not worrying about you thinking I'm crazy. It's actually enjoyable. I like to watch the response. I enjoy that. Because again, I think, like I said, I think the majority of the people are somewhat receptive to the conversation. You know what I mean? If it's something that really upsets somebody, I'll tell them, hey, I don't mean to upset you, but I thought you might be interested. You know what I mean? I thought you had a different perspective, but otherwise, I was wrong. Sorry.
Right on. All right. Hey, man. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Happy birthday again, and thanks a lot, Stefan.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep it flat, everybody. Bye, Mark. Bye, Karen.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Stefan.
Yep. Have a good one.
Let's jump out to 315, possibly New York. What's happening?
Hey, what's up? That's definitely not my location. Hey, I'm calling from the third floor. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Karen. Hey, Mark. Hey, good to see you guys.
Hey.
Hey, I found me a new Mandela effect.
Go.
You, Mark.
There's a Mandela effect involving me. By all means, hit me.
I got these things memorized, and I was going over old vids. And when I say memorized, I mean I memorized them back in the day, going back 8 years. Episode 2 of Strange World, right around the 22-minute and 50-second mark, between like 40 seconds, 50 seconds. You and Jonathan Jersey are joking around about lights out stuff, and he jumps in and says, "Hey, yeah, when the power goes out in New York, the pregnancy rates and stuff goes up like 9 months out."
Yeah.
And you say, "Yeah, that's human nature for you." Now you say that's human instinct. And it's funny because you just quoted Mark Twain and you said human nature again. It's really weird to hear you say human instinct. I know that sounds really insignificant. Doesn't mean anything, but I caught it.
No, it's fun. Again, when it comes to the Mandela effect, see what I did there? There's only so much time I can put into it, because until we can actually record accurate human thought, it's just one person's word versus, one person's memory versus another. Do I think it's real? Sure. But until we can actually record it and play it back on a machine, and when we get to that moment, again, if you've never seen it, I highly recommend the movie, Robert Redford movie called The Discovery. Fascinating movie along those lines, because when they figured out how to record human thought, kind of like Brainstorm back in the day with Christopher Walken.
I remember that. Yeah, that movie was trippy.
Which one? Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, I got one more.
Okay.
Also, the guys on the second floor, they need to stop stealing my lunch down here. I don't even know why they do that, because their cafeteria is awesome. Their salad bar is amazing, but I figured out the agency had something to do with that.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that you're going to tell them to take my lunch. And they got the best defect on there. Their salad bar is crazy.
Someone should collect the amount of agency quotes I have used over the years, because there's a lot. There's a lot. And it doesn't help me so much, but when people meet me in person, they get it. It's like, I thought you were an agent until I met you, and then I noticed you were just a big dork. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why the LA meetup was a good thing, because people are like, oh, you are a dork. I go, yeah.
All the people who call you a shill never met you.
Yeah, exactly. You call me a shill if you want.
All people who never met you.
You spend 5 minutes with me, you will know. I am not the greatest secret agent in the world. I am not. I wish I was, but I am not.
I'm here to tell you, even if you were or you weren't, the story will still be the same. The facts will still be the same.
That is true. Good. That is an excellent point, which I have said a number of times, which is, look, I could, a rocket could crash on me tomorrow. It's not going to change anything. This thing's still moving forward. That's the best part for me about Flat Earth, which is the people. Yeah, we've lost some people along the way, but it's the idea that just keeps moving. It's not going anywhere. So yeah. Anything else? Because I got to do rapid fire calls this segment, because it's our last one.
One more funny one.
Okay.
Before my shout out there, not to promote him, but not a bad thing. But Canadian Prepper, he's like the #1 prepper show on YouTube. He's going over all the doom and gloom stuff, and he's saying Taiwan and China and North Korea and all this and that. And he's like, it's like the world's falling apart, blah blah blah. And he's like, what'd be a great time? This would be a great time to be a flat earther, because now this would matter, because you don't believe in any of this shit.
Nice.
Cool. All right, shout out to Stephen Carpenter. Shout out to Frida, 1982. There's something going on. There you go. Also, when I was in the artillery, we didn't take into account the Coriolis effects. Shout out to you, Karen. Mark, you're all right. The guys on 3rd and 4th floor, we love you, even though the 1st and 2nd floor guys,
Yeah.
They're
you don't want to talk
good. After the 5th floor, no humans are allowed down there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Have a good one.
Hot sex.
Thank you. Love the fact that it only took me 6 years before people started catching on to that. And by the way, there was a show I was watching on Netflix last night called The Diplomat. It's amazing how many shows Flat Earth is in.
My mom watches that show. She's been watching it while she's here.
The Diplomat?
Yes.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes. But like in the 6th episode, the Prime Minister of England, played by whatever actor, he mentioned that he throws out that line. I'm just watching this and I'm blindsided. He's going, well, it's like, we could do that, but what do you think we are, flat earthers? Right?
Yeah, they said we're not flat earthers looking for the edge or something.
There you go.
I watched that episode the other night. I was like,
caught
what?
that line. Yeah. We have influenced a lot of people in the writing world, in the media world, entertainment world. We're in a lot of different little things. Again, people forget, like the cartoon show, The Inside Man. they dedicated an episode called My Big Flat Earth Wedding, where flat earthers took over Jeff Bezos' yacht to look for the edge of the world. It was awesome. And, you know, I remember Peanut Gallery's going, you know, the lead flat earther in there, he's not you, but he's not you.
Just like that cartoon where they made the dude in the cartoon look exactly like
Yeah, where I was in love with the girl from Behind the Curve, the scientist with the purple hair. Yeah,
it was horrible.
Whatever. Okay. How many can we knock out here? Give everyone less than 3 minutes on these coming forward. Let's do Florida. No, let's do Connecticut first. Connecticut 860, or maybe not Connecticut.
Oh yeah, Connecticut.
Hey, what's happening, Connecticut?
How's it going?
Good.
Right on. Hey, Karen, it's Alex Javier. How's it going?
Hey, good.
Into I'm the one who asks all the questions on Sabbath show.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out, what's going on, Stefan? Right on. Another musician, flat earther, right on. All the musicians out there, keep it going.
Thank you, brother.
And Mark, I didn't know it was your birthday. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cool.
I have survived another year. Wouldn't have bet if you would have asked my 20-year-old self, I'd be like, there's no way I'd make it to 55. But here I am, all my fingers and toes. That hasn't popped off. So does become transparent though from time to time.
Yeah, I've never called.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been following you for a minute. I haven't never called in, so I wanted to call in. Going to hopefully make it out to see Dave and anybody else who's in Connecticut. Hope to see you guys out there in Stamford, the meetup.
Well, it's going to be a pretty big meetup. Dave always seems to attract a crowd.
We recorded one of our records there.
Yeah.
Really?
Stanford or Hartford?
Oh, cool. Look at that.
Stanford.
Stanford, Connecticut. I'm out of Hartford County, so I always wanted to have something close by over here, but working a lot and stuff.
Well, this will be a big meetup.
I woke up to.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
Oh,
it's a delay.
Yeah, I woke up to obviously Effie. I think where everybody else did. I think it was 2017 or something. It was crazy. Seventh trumpet preppers or something like that kind of dripped on me, and then Rob Skiba, I saw some of his videos and I went from there. Went to Pick on the World conferences, and then it just went from there. It was awesome. And obviously we're all truthers. We wake up to 9/11 and go from there, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I just wanted to say, hey, if there's any musicians out there who want to start a flat earth band, Alex, you hear me? If you need a drummer, you come. Vegas, baby, Vegas. I'll drum for you over there. Been playing for like 30 years. So.
Hey, right
who knows? By the way, Stefan, do you know if you guys tour with POD? I got to meet them one time. It was pretty cool. I don't know if you ever toured with them.
We never toured with them, but we've done lots of shows with them.
Right on, cool. Yeah,
they're going to be. I believe they're playing the same show that we're doing in Vegas next month.
Oh, okay.
On the 13th.
That'd be cool.
Sick New World.
You never know.
Nice. Hey, you got any shout outs?
I will. Oh yeah, just, shout out to you guys like Mark, Karen, Stephen, Dave, everybody from Glowbusters, and obviously like Rob Skiba, Rick Hummer, Patricia, everybody out there that you know who I am and I know who you are. Rock on.
Right on, man.
God bless everybody.
All right. Thank you. All right. So can we do two more? Yeah, we can do at least two more. Ooh, did he hang up? Oh, Valley Music Journey, you hung up, and I was just going to pick you up. I got to jump to New York now. Sorry. Well, not that New York, but a different New York. 917, possibly in dreary old Manhattan. What's happening? You got to take the mute button off, man. Don't be a rookie. Don't do it.
Hello. New York.
Sorry. Got to come back to them. No, it happens every once in a while. Someone will do it where they just can't find the mute button. It's like, oh my God. I don't know what to do.
Panicking.
The what?
They're just panicking.
They do. I take it for granted so many times. You've heard the show, long time listener, been listening like 5 years, and all of a sudden, in fact, Jenny Bolton, who emailed me the other day, the Boltons that came to the conference, she says she hasn't gotten drunk enough to call into the show yet.
She's funny. She's so nice. Did I tell you I'm gonna try to go to the Western North Carolina Bigfoot Festival this year, and I think they're gonna be there.
Nice. That's cool. No, Jenny's great. I love her. But it's like, what are you doing? You did a commercial with me. In fact, it was your commercial. How can you be shy? What do you think's gonna happen? And you've met Karen. I mean, granted, I'd be scared of you too, but whatever. Let's go to. We got time. I'm not gonna pick. Peanut? Why are we losing calls?
Why are y'all hanging up?
Yeah, what happened? Has something happened?
I know we said that, my first episode was 303. This is 404. I'm gonna be back soon. I'm coming back for the 420 show. So just mark that on the calendar.
Oh, 420, yeah.
Karen, write that down.
I have to write it down. 420. I'll never.
That's true. We probably will burn. That will probably be burned in our memory. We gotta pace that one out because we got to figure out what month is that.
Also 422 because it's 422.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll absolutely do it. Okay. So 420 would be 16 weeks from now, 4 months. That'd be
about that. Yeah.
All right. You know what? Let's just pick up our last New York call. Oh, Dan.
Wait, no, Donald, he's back.
All right. I'll pick him up.
We got time.
Valley Music Journey, I'll give you 3 minutes. What do you got?
Talking to me?
Dan, don't make me reach through the phone and kill you with my mind. What are you doing?
I was enjoying hearing Stefan Carpenter.
What are you eating?
Nachos.
You're killing me, man. First off, you never eat when you've never called in at 8 at the same time. What is wrong with you?
That's why I was trying to take a break. Sorry.
That's probably why you hung up.
It's the end of the show. No breaks. Talk.
I had the phone on the whole time, so.
I need new friends. All right. What do you got?
Yeah, well, it's very refreshing to hear a accomplished musician who's able to stand out and do what Stefan does.
Yes.
So, I guess, did he already retell the story, Stefan? Did he already tell how you came across the fact that the Earth is not a spinning ball?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back.
Okay, I'll tell it to you.
Okay,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I had a friend of mine that told me every day for nearly 3.5 months, and for that entire time, him and another mutual friend of ours, we just laughed at him. We told him he was insane every time he brought it up, and he never showed us anything. So of course, if you don't see anything, it's almost impossible to understand it, especially because you're talking about beliefs. Nearly a year later, he sent me a video, The Flat Earth, The Ultimate Litmus Test by Marty Leeds. And I watched it a couple times. And then after I watched it, I basically, sent my friend a text and I told him, hey, my apologies. I was right. I was wrong. You were right. It's flat, and that's that, and I've just been, I've enjoyed all the different, different aspects to the story now for, it's been going on 7 years, I believe. 7 years.
Nice.
You know, it was
Yes.
2000. It was all 2015 when my friend was bringing it up, and it was the beginning of 2016 when he sent me something that I was like, oh yeah, no, I can't deny that.
Cool.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly when I got involved in it. It's so mind blowing, but from a career perspective, it can affect your career so much. So I'm so happy that you're able to maintain your career through all that.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So, do you have any memories of anything in your childhood where you were, wondering why there was always a globe on the front table in your, classroom or anything?
No, never crossed my mind. I just enjoyed spinning it, looking at all the names of all the countries, the bodies of water. I mean, I just took it in for what it was. I had no reason to believe that somebody was trying to fake me out.
Yeah. Well, same here, but I was involved in, boating a lot and different types of navigation. And I didn't get it about the whole experience of being, under the globe, right? And then I went to Australia and I was like, you guys don't really think you're upside down, do you?
Yeah.
Did you perform down there?
Yeah, we've been out to Australia multiple times for years now. We probably think our first time out there was in '97.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Did they ask you how you feel being upside down?
No, when you travel around, it's never something I ever consider. I've never once gone to any destination and thought I was on a different slanted part of the globe. It's never, because you have nothing that tells your senses that you are. And that was actually the big thing that woke me up was flying. When I realized, what I was told, when I heard the different facts in the video and I related to all of it. I mean, I've looked out the window of many flights, and all I can do is see is the flat land or water below me.
Yeah, exactly. So I got involved in it when I was in Bali. You probably stopped in Bali when you're coming back from Australia, but
never been
Rahu was moon, the black moon, and I learned about. We went out to watch the eclipse, and they said, "Oh, the eclipse is because of the dark sun or the dark moon or whatever they called it. It's called Rahu." And I thought to myself, that sounds crazy, but when it went black, and then I read up on it, and I saw that there's eclipses that occur without any, it's above the horizon. Then I realized, wow, there's a problem here.
Hey, Dan. Hate to do this to you, but I gotta pick up one more call because we got to tie a bow on this whole thing. Okay.
Okay. Well, sorry, I'm enjoying Stefan.
I know.
Bro.
Everybody loves Stefan. I know.
Yeah, but that's where I lived when I discovered. And Mark and later Karen turned me on to it. But I'm going to get into your music more now that I know who you are, man.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
And remember, he's coming back for 420. So be ready
Yeah.
and call in earlier, dude. And do not hang up to eat nachos. Don't blame me.
And 422.
And 422. Seriously, that is
All right,
not an
guys.
excuse. It's like, oh, I hung up because I had to eat nachos. Come on, you know what time it is. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
And, hey, you mentioned
You're a bad
shout
person.
out to Jake. Jake is missing. I don't know where he is. The musician, my friend. So just shout out to him.
All right.
And that's all.
Well, yeah. Let me know
Pray
if
for
you
him.
find him. Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Enjoy your nachos. All right. Before we pick up 845, I got to do a quick shout out to Dennis. Dennis, I know you're there. I can't pick you up. There is no time, especially for you, unfortunately. Dennis is loquacious. Dennis is like an ent from Lord of the
Mark
Rings.
likes to stay on schedule.
Yeah, we gotta stay on schedule. Our producer is already yelling. It's like, control the show. All right. Let's pick up 845 in New York. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. With Stephen Carpenter.
New York, New York. With my vagabond shoes.
They're longing to
sorry. That was as crappy as I could do it for you, Stefan. Hey, what's up, Mark? Happy birthday, Karen, Stefan. Fucking loving it. This is a good show, fun show. I'll be quick.
Yeah.
You should do all the 420 shows, okay? Carmageddon fucking rules. That was like the first kill everything fucking
Kill
game.
everything. Yep.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Yes. I remember finding a football stadium and just running everything over.
Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, something I just found. I didn't even know this. I don't remember who said it in the chat. I can't take credit, but I think it's fucking awesome. You're 60th ranked top 100 guitarist of all time, Stefan. That is fucking amazing. That is amazing. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's awesome.
Just
Awesome,
wanted
man.
to throw that out there. That's fucking cool. Cool.
That's saying something because rock and roll is deep.
How long have
Thank
you guys
and
been a
thank-
band for
Thank you
now?
to all those who give me that rank. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, how long have you guys been a band
Dude.
for now? You guys have been together for a long time.
Our first record came out in '95, but we formed as a band in '88.
Wow.
Awesome. Hey, I had a question, and probably, I mean, it's not a big deal really, but I was just curious. Like, you obviously know millions of people, top tier artists and stuff. I'm just curious, like, what do they act like when you bring this up? I know that like most normal people shit their pants, and they freak the fuck out. But I'm just curious, like, artistes, are they like, I don't know, are they douchey to you, or most of them are like, we'll talk? I guess that's really, I was just curious about that.
I don't have lots of conversations with other band members, unless we're all hanging out or whatever. And again, like I said, I always throw it out there in the same way. I enjoy the shock value that it adds to the conversation when you bring it up. It's throwing a grenade into a conversation, and it's fun. That reaction really is, because I mean, like I said, if someone's really going to be upset, well, then I don't want to talk about it, because I don't bring it up because I want to upset you. It's kind of a litmus. Right. Like I said, I find that most people are responsive to the subject. They already think or feel that way. Like, I'm not really convincing a lot of people in the conversation, more than I'm finding out that like, hey, they think the same way too. Like, yeah, I think that way also.
Right on.
Right. Nice.
And then, like I said, like, the ones that think it's crazy, that's all good. I look, I don't think there's anyone that thinks or, agrees with Flat Earth that doesn't have that feeling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it's like to laugh at, to be laughed at, because they did it themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I'm super impressed by that. That's crazy. I mean, I I always liked you guys and always liked your music and think you're awesome. But that ranking is huge to me. Just it is. And I do have a quote.
What's your quote?
Sorry. Oh, okay. Jazz, isn't that just a series of mistakes disguised as musical composition? David St. Hubbins of Spinal Tap, 1992.
Nice.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah. Shout outs, man. Mark,
Steph and Karen, Peanut Gallery, Zulu One. DITRH. See you Saturday. See you at Rico's.
That's right. Rico's Pizza Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks awesome.
All right.
That's it? That's all you got?
All right.
All right.
Oh yeah. And everybody out there, just love everybody. Try not to hate as much as I hate everybody and all the stupid people, because it's just, oh my God, they're limitless. There's so many morons, so many sheeple. They're ridiculous out there.
Good point. Any final final words of wisdom, Stefan?
Yeah, those people have all been blessed by God. Gotta be a little more understanding for them, you know?
Right on. All right.
There you go.
With that, we're going to tie a bow on this show. So say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Stefan.
Good night, everybody. Thanks
Say
for
goodnight.
that.
Say goodnight,
Thanks
Zulu.
for letting me come out, hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us.
Anytime, man. And can't wait to see you on 420. And 422. Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu. Good night, Stefan. Good night, Karen. Good night, Mark.
All right. Good night, John Boy.
Man, have a good one.
Hot sex.
Hot sex. Oh, yeah. We'll be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. And then 420 and 422 with Stefan.
Yeah, buddy.
The music, Karen.
All right. That's it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Devin? A pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's always good. Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep, have a good one.
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Hello, Daisy. Hello, Mother.